YouTube. Welcome back to another reaction video. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Sheila B-Law, man. Today's video, we're gonna react to the singer David. So, decomposed body of a teen girl found in singer's truck identified. So I know y'all been hearing, you know what I'm saying, that singer, man. Apparently the girl was found in the back of the trunk of this nigga's car. They saying that he didn't do it, but nigga, I feel like you did, my guy. Cause mind you, she's hella young, so I guess at the time when they was talking, shit, she was like what, 15, 13 or some shit? And he's old, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's fucked up, because they found any receipts that, you know what I'm saying, they've been hanging out, and the mom saying that you know what I'm saying, she had a boyfriend named David. This nigga name is David. You know what I'm saying? So it's all over. So if he did it, that's fucked up, my guy. And it's crazy how these rappers, bro, be getting famous off of shit, true shit. The shit, bro. I'm telling you now, if he did it, bro, that's a prime example. Man, let's get to the video. Bro. I know I'm talking too much. Let's get to the video. It's your boy Sheila B-Law. We out. Ew. A prime example of why you can't get away with nothing.
New detail. We've been friends for years.
You can't do shit and think it's not going to come out to light if it's bad.
Years, you know, but I still don't get it. What do you actually do?
With these niggas?
Honestly, it's pretty boring.
New details just released about the identity of the person found wrapped in plastic discovered in the trunk of a singer's car. We're breaking down the latest and where the investigation stands now, as the singer's rep maintains that he's fully cooperating with the investigation. Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner.
How you don't know, gang?
Remains were of a 15-year-old girl who was reported missing last year. But even with this new lead at this time, police are keeping tight-lipped if they have a suspect or a person of interest. Earlier this month, employees at a tow yard in Hollywood noticed a strong odor coming from one of the cars. The smell was so strong and foul, they had no choice but to call police. When officers arrived, that's when the startling discovery was made. A body was wrapped in plastic and dumped in the vehicle's trunk. When investigators dug into who that car belonged to, they learned it was registered to the singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke. Officials say that the car was towed from the Hollywood
damn, that's fucked up. So it was towed?
Hills after someone reported it missing. Investigators believe that the body was put in the trunk about 5 days before it was towed to the impound lot. Now, initially, we didn't know much, including who was the victim. Did the victim have ties to the singer?
If it was this nigga, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm pausing the hella early. If it was this nigga, why would you just won't blow the car up if you don't want to get caught? But that's fucked up, though, bruh.
Was the singer a person of interest
God
or a
don't like
suspect?
ugly.
We're still waiting to learn more. But now investigators reportedly identified who the victim is. We're learning this week that the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner ID'd the victim as a 15-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas. According to LAPD, the victim was 5'2", had wavy hair, and a tattoo on her right index finger that says shh. She was found wearing a tube top, black leggings, an earring, and a yellow metal chain bracelet. According to a report by TMZ, though, the singer David also had that exact same tattoo on his right index finger. But that doesn't necessarily equal murder suspect. It might be an odd coincidence, especially with other celebs like Lindsay Lohan, Rihanna, and Lily Allen sporting the same tat. Here's what else we know about 15-year-old Celeste. Her mom told local reporters she had been missing for more than a year. Her mom said when she saw the news of the body found in David's Tesla, it was suspicious to her because her daughter's boyfriend's name was also David. Little is known at this time about the events leading up to Celeste going missing. According to a missing poster, she was last seen on April 5th of 2024 in Lake Elsinore, California. That was when she was 13 years old. She was last seen wearing gray pants, a black sweater, hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. Attorneys for the singer say that he continues to cooperate with the investigation. While authorities haven't publicly said that he is a suspect, that hasn't stopped some people from jumping to their own conclusions. Some eagle-eyed fans pointed to David's previous songs as some kind of clues or messages, like Romantic Homicide, for example. His lyrics include, "In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you." Now, that song was released in 2022, 2 years before Celeste went missing and 3 years before her body was discovered. But again, it didn't stop some people from speculating. Then, in another report from TMZ released Wednesday, the singer professed his love to someone named Celeste in an unreleased song. According to the report, those unreleased tracks included the lyrics, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." The other verse included the lyrics, "Oh Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed, but you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because..." Now, according to the report, that song was leaked in December of 2023, just months before Celeste was officially reported missing. And it's important to note, no official confirmation Celeste in the leaked song is the same Celeste found in the car. Companies like Crocs and Hollister pulled their marketing campaigns after Celeste's body was discovered too. In a joint statement, the brands wrote, "We are aware of this developing story. With respect to the current situation, we have removed campaign content featuring David while the investigation continues." According to a previous report by TMZ, it was police who told David that there was a body inside his Tesla because he had no idea what was going on. But it's still unclear how the car registered to him ended up in a tow lot if it wasn't even reported missing. Again, the singer's rep says that he has been cooperating, but we learned today he's pausing his current world tour. According to TMZ, he was supposed to hit the stage in Seattle for a concert, but sources tell the outlet that concert was canceled and the rest of his tour is on pause. Following the latest in the investigation, ABC7 Eyewitness News reports a house close to where the Tesla was abandoned was searched. Dozens of investigators were reportedly seen taking a computer and other items from a home in Hollywood. Some homeowners told the news outlet they remembered seeing that Tesla for a while, either parked at the house where police conducted their search or at other spots on the same street. But as of this recording, he isn't named as a suspect, and no criminal charges have been filed against him. So the mystery and investigation continues. I'm joined now by retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt. Colin, thank you so much for joining me. What's your reaction to this latest development as the medical examiner says that the body found in the trunk was a 15-year-old girl?
Well, it looks like it's a terrible, terrible tragedy for that 15-year-old girl's family is obviously the victim. And the fact that she was found in a trunk, it indicates that there's some level of foul play with this, and it's only going to get more interesting and probably more tragic as the story comes out.
And I think probably, the biggest part of this story is that the car that the victim was found in was registered to a very popular singer. And we know that the singer is cooperating with the investigation, and officials haven't named him as a suspect or a person of interest. But in your opinion, with the information that we know now, do you think that he has anything to do with it?
Well, the problem is for whoever did this, a Tesla is nothing more than a rolling supercomputer. So it's going to have all kinds of information in there when they get when the engineers get in and get all the data. So I'm confident they're going to know exactly what happened in a very short period of time. And then the fact that there's such a close connection between the decedent and this rapper, it's only going to get more interesting, like I said, as far as what really happened.
And it's interesting, too, kind of the circumstances as we're learning more, because the victim's mom even told police that she got suspicious it was her daughter because her daughter also had a boyfriend named David. Do you think that that's just a terrible coincidence? And also, we're learning that they both had this tattoo on their index finger with the letters "sh" written on it, kind of similar to a lot of other celebrities, especially kind of in the millennial era, who also had that same tattoo. But do you think this is all just a terrible coincidence?
Well, unfortunately, in violent crime, there's no such thing as a coincidence. It's a coincidence is actual circumstantial evidence. So all these data points are starting to point towards this rapper. We don't know what his role was, and if indeed he did have anything to do with it, but it does appear that there's some sort of.
Man, I just hope he didn't do it, bro. I hope he didn't do it, but these rappers be weird, bro, when it comes to these fucking lyrics. Like, nigga, he's saying, "Oh Celeste, her name is Celeste. The mom saying she had a girlfriend named no she had a boyfriend named David. Nigga, she's dead in his fucking car. Like, bro, what? And he's cooperating because he probably did it, and he probably talking to him to get them off his back. I don't know, bro. This shit weird. But hopefully, if Tesla got some type of built-in camera and all this shit, hey man, no, he gonna get caught. That's gonna be fucked up too, bro. So I don't know, but let get it and let go. Ooh.
Some sort of culpability that this rapper is going to have with this girl's death.
And where does the investigation or investigators really go from here? You know, they know the identity of the victim. The cause of death right now is listed as deferred, but what happens next?
Well, the most important piece of evidence is the body. The body tells the entire story. So, as I understand it from social media, that the medical examiner has not finished their investigation. And then the next step of that would be obviously the toxicology reports, which take a couple of days to a couple of weeks to get back. And then that's going to point the investigators in the direction of where to take their next steps, as well as the search of the interior of the compartment that she was found in and the passenger compartment. Because if there was any blood or any signs of foul play or violence, then that
ugly ass nigga, dildo face ass nigga,
obviously points into a direction that they need to go.
And what's going to be more important to the investigation, finding out what happened inside that car, if anything happened inside that car, or the forensic evidence in the car, or is it going to be finding where the
little chin, big head, big nose, big ear looking at
the scene of the crime actually took place, and kind of working backwards really from there?
Well, working backwards is from the body.
Big neck, little collar, big shirt, little collar looking at him.
And the body will start, is basically points all the directional arrows, so to speak, on where to go. And then from there, obviously, they go and do a forensic analysis of that car. And then, like I said, the most important piece of that car is that onboard computer, which has so much information that even Tesla owners don't know what the extent of the information that car has on it. And I'm fairly confident that the owner of the car wasn't sophisticated enough to know how to wipe or to get rid of that information that's on that car.
Does it change anything? You know, we know the Tesla car is like kind of like a smart car. And even though I'm not as technologically savvy as you are, Colin, I'm interested in knowing, does it change anything in terms of the investigation because the car was towed over into that impound lot? Does that change anything in terms of the data that might be on that car or anything?
Big house, little fan.
Something like that?
Little TV.
No, I mean, when the car is on, it's gathering thousands and thousands of data points. Now, it was off, basically, we can presume that it was on up until the time it was towed. So they know where it was when it was towed to that. So the towing part isn't really mean anything other than chain of custody. So from the time that it was sitting there or towed back 24, 48, or even 2 weeks, they're going to be able to know exactly where that car was, whether it was an accident. There's even cameras, interior and exterior, that are taking footage. So they're going to end up likely knowing who was in the car prior to it being disposed of.
Damn.
And say, you know,
I want to know. I ain't gonna lie.
Again, a very big story because it kind of surrounds the singer David because the car was registered to him. But say investigators
big chin, little neck, loose neck.
You know, he has been cooperating with the investigation. Again, he hasn't been named as a suspect or anything like that. But say investigators learn that he was out on tour, or he was at an event or something. He has an alibi for the time frame that they believe the murder took place. What happens next in terms of how they find possibly who might else be involved in this?
Well, they're also going to find her phone. Possibly, they didn't say whether the phone was on her or not. And then the phone obviously is, especially for a 15-year-old, her whole life is in that phone. So they're going to be able to establish her circle of friends and start interviewing all of those people, as well as interviewing all the people around this rapper to see this music artist, was to see if they know anything and they know what exactly happened. I mean, the bottom line is you don't crawl into a car and close the hood. You know, somebody had to have put her in that car, whether she was alive or dead when it happened. That will be something that the investigators will definitely find out. And I believe it happened in LAPD territory, and they're considered the best homicide investigators in the world. So I have absolute certainty that they're going to determine who did this and or what happened.
Hopefully
and
it's
even
not
that
what
whole other
David.
aspect, because again, we're just learning this information pretty much today, is that she was reported missing about a year ago. How important is that time frame of when she was missing and how long of a period that was? How will that kind of play into her death investigation?
Well, I think that that's important that the family lost track of her a year ago, but it still comes right back to that car and what was going on in the car prior to the tow truck picking it up, and then being able to establish the timeline. So in any investigation or violent crime investigation, the timeline is the most important. So they're going to have a timeline starting from when the car was found or when it was reported, and they'll go back 24, 48, or even 2 weeks, and they'll be able to identify every place that car was and likely where she was. And that'll be, with that, they'll be able to fill in the blanks and then identify who was involved in her death. Now, she may have not been killed. She may have died of a drug overdose and somebody put her in the car. Either way, somebody's responsible for her being in that vehicle.
Yeah, and I'm sure
Facts.
investigators and even her family are trying to find out what happened to her, if they can gather any type of details to figure out what all had happened. Colin, I want to thank you so much for your time and your insight into this case. I did have one final question for you. In terms of investigating a case like this, where you have very little to go off of, how different is it to investigate a case like this now in 2025, where you have surveillance cameras, you have smart cars that gather all this technology and information, as opposed to maybe like 20 years ago, where we didn't have all this technology readily available like we do now?
Well, I think it kind of on its face, it appears cognitively that it should be easier, but in fact, it's actually harder because the investigators are just overloaded with data and information. And at some point, AI will probably be taking a role in these kind of investigations to sift through the mountains of data that these investigators receive from their court orders to Tesla or to the iPhone or wherever, to kind of be able to filter out all the noise and be able to get to the point. 20 years ago, it was a matter of just going and interviewing people and getting their story. Now it's a whole different story with all these data points that investigators have to sift through.
And so with that being said, do you see that there might be a possibly end in sight in terms of the investigation anytime soon, or do you think that this might be a very long investigation?
Well, based upon it was in a Tesla, I would speculate that it's not going to be long. If it was in like a Mustang from the 60s that has no onboard computing ability, it would be kind of a different story. But like I said, that Tesla has so much data in it, and there's so many tools out there that will aid the investigators on getting through that data. I expect that they likely will quickly know exactly what happened to that girl.
Sure, and I hope that they find out soon what happened to her, because it's just devastating overall, just how horrible this case truly is. Again, Colin Schmidt, thank you so much for your time and insight into this case. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Investigators are still working to find Celeste's cause of death, but LAPD says they are investigating the case as a homicide. Again, David is not being publicly named as a suspect at the time of this recording. Thanks so much for joining us here on Law and Crime.
That's crazy that he's not a damn suspect. I'm like, nigga, your name, you in the damn rappers in the car. You got a boyfriend named David. And you in the fucking trunk. That's why I'm confused on what's going on. Like, what's really going on, man? That's crazy to hear, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's so crazy to hear, bro. Sending my condolences to Celeste family. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna watch this video. You know what I'm saying? The mom not gonna watch the video, but if she was to watch it, you know what I'm saying? We all in prayers, goddamn. Yeah, bro, it's kind of fucked up. In the comments, what y'all think about it? Even though y'all not gonna fucking respond anyway, man. Make sure y'all come on, like, comment, subscribe, bro. Comment. God damn, help a brother out. Ew. But nah, boy, it's your boy CELESTE B-Law, man. Road to 5K, right here, 1,000 subs already. And now we just need those 4,000 watch hours. Every time I post, it goes fast every time, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's your boy CELESTE B-Law, man. We out. Ew! Man, you know how fucked up that shit is, bruh. Little nose, big head, little chin, big neck. My bad. I'm just in a roasting mood. Trying to roast everybody. Oh, hell nah. Hold on, y'all. This video 18 minutes. Oh, I can't go outside like this. Hold on, let me. There gotta be another video, son. It gotta be another video, son. It gotta be another video or something, twin. Who's last? Who's last?
On September.
Let's do one more video, y'all. One more video.
For rates that will leave you with
Oh,
more than
Celeste. Oh, Celeste.
On September 8th, news broke that a badly decomposed body was found in a Tesla that was in an impound lot registered to the singer David. Now, David is a 20-year-old kid, ex-Fortnite pro. He has a grassroots type come up, making music on his iPhone. And on top of that, he was on tour. So because of his personality, everyone just assumed it couldn't have been him, right? Until some more news came out just recently that may change the entire story. Real quick, I want to say I'm making this vid because the story is really confusing. There's a lot of theories and misunderstood things floating around right now. I mean, you have people like XQC who are investigating this on stream, and it's probably not the best source, as well as people who are just straight up making things up or posting misinformation. So I'm going to separate this video into two different sections. The first is going to be stuff that we know for sure, and the second is just going to be like theories and speculation from all the fans online. Also, here's a quick trigger warning because a lot of the stuff in this video is pretty disturbing. So with all that in mind, let's continue. If you don't know who David is, like I said, he used to be a Fortnite pro. He had a cool come-up story saying he wanted non-copyright music for his montages, so he started making his own songs with just his iPhone on BandLab. After uploading a couple songs to SoundCloud, he released the song Romantic Homicide. This song went super viral, and I'm sure you've all heard it. It's the "In the back of my mind, you died."
In the back of my mind, you died.
And this track absolutely blew up in July of 2022. And shortly after, he signed a record deal to Interscope. He continued releasing music and even opened for SZA on his tour. He also got to do the track Feel It for Invincible, a song that fans absolutely love. Even recently, David just did a song called Locked and Loaded, which was a collaboration with Fortnite. He had a montage of his own gameplay as the music video. I'm saying all this to say he had a very organic come up, a family-friendly vibe, and a likable personality.
So you just literally only made music so you could make a few more dollars.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was it.
How did you make your first song?
And I looked up how to make music on iPhone, and this app called BandLab comes up. I click on it, I put my Apple earbuds in, and I use my sister's closet as a studio.
That's why when the news first broke, most people just assumed he couldn't have possibly done it. I even said to a friend when it first came out, I was like, I feel like the Fortnite kid who was pretty normal didn't do something like this. Because that was always the impression that I got from him, but that may not be the case. When the news first came out, it was reported that there was a body in his car that had been there for an extended period of time before being found. It was too badly decomposed to be identified. Apparently, the car had been at the impound lot for a few days. This was after the car had been abandoned a few days before that, without ever being reported missing. According to NBC, a spokesperson for David said, he has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. But he would have been touring for over a month before the body was decomposed, according to his tour dates, which is why, like I said, most people figured it couldn't have possibly been him. On top of that, the LAPD said it is one of several vehicles owned by the musician, with many different people using any of the vehicles at any given time. The police didn't arrest him or anything, and he just went on to perform like normal the same night, handing out Labubus to the crowd. On the flip side though, Crocs and Hollister dropped their ad campaigns with him, which is understandable why brands wouldn't want to be associated with those types of accusations. However, things took a turn for the much worse when just recently the body was identified.
And now some breaking news on a major story that we've been following. We have just learned the identity of a teen found dead inside of the trunk of a Tesla registered to the singer David. Investigators now say that the victim, Celeste, reported as a runaway last year, had not been seen since.
It was the body of a young girl named Celeste, who would have just turned 15 years old. She went missing in April of 2024 when she was 13, so she was missing for over a year. Of course, though, this in and of itself doesn't directly link her to David, but TMZ interviewed the girl's mom, who said that her daughter had a "sh" tattoo right on her index finger in red ink. Well, David also has a "sh" tattoo on his right index finger. This tattoo isn't necessarily unique to David. I mean, Rihanna has it, Lindsay Lohan and Lily Allen do too, but what makes things miles worse is that the mom claimed her daughter had a boyfriend named David. Right after this news came out, David canceled his upcoming show. TMZ confirmed that a house David was living in was searched by the LAPD. The house was being rented by his manager from Interscope, but there are a ton of pictures and videos of him in the house over the past year. Apparently, LAPD homicide detectives searched the house Wednesday and walked out with a computer and several evidence bags.
Mike, do we know if the search has anything to do with the girl's death, though?
Yeah, so Susie and Juan, we are working on those details right now. What I can tell you is that it is literally right where we know that the car was towed from. So remember how this all happened, as you heard from Nicole? The car was towed from the Hollywood Hills. It wasn't until it was at the tow yard where the body was found. So if we go back to where the car was towed from, tonight, there's a presence of Los Angeles police detectives that are out there. We can see them in their plainclothes suits. We also see crime scene techs. It appears to be centered at this home. Sky Cow was able to get a peek before it got dark. To be clear, LAPD has not said tonight if this investigation is related to the investigation of the girl's body being found, but they are like less than 100 feet away from where it was all found. So this is all happening in the same neighborhood.
For reference, this is how close the house was to where the car was found, which I think is a lot more incriminating than it originally was led on to be. And on top of that, the police are saying that the car was driven through an alley, possibly with the intention of trying to avoid traffic cameras or something like that. So it's just crazy how close it was to the house that he was staying in. The only other thing we know for sure is that there was a photo taken of David just a brief walk away from where the victim lived. The person who posted the picture was alleging that David was paying people off, but there isn't any concrete proof on that. All we know for sure is that he was in that area. Callie Uchis even said she's in the process of taking down the song she has with him following this news. So this is everything we know for sure, all of our information from official sources. However, as you can imagine, the internet detectives got straight to work. And a lot of this alleged information looks really bad if we're being honest. Again, I just want to clarify, everything going forward isn't like super factual. It's not confirmed by official sources. But if I'm being honest, most of this proof that we're seeing confirms that he knew the victim. First of all, there's messages from his Discord server that show him talking to a girl named Celeste. This interaction was from 2022, by the way, and it says she joined the server back in 2021. There were also people who had a convo saying they were pretty sure he had a girlfriend named Celeste in 2024. One of the strangest messages from his server was someone who said in response to him saying he was in a song crisis, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste. This message was also sent in August of 2024. All of this is very strange because at the very least, it goes to show that people were aware of this girl in his Discord server. Like, I saw someone tweet, "You're telling me people knew about David and Celeste in a Discord server and didn't say anything?" And I saw some people saying she lied and said her age in the server was 18, but I don't know, still just a weird situation. Someone also recorded all of these screenshots, which leads me to believe that these are legitimate. On top of this, photos started popping up saying it was the two of them together, like this one. There's also this photo from Discord as well, which looks similar to the victim. There was also a bunch more pics and videos that leaked that showed David with a girl that resembled this girl. Apparently, someone even got into his iCloud and started leaking photos of them together. Then there's also this really strange Reddit post. On September 8th, the day the original news broke, someone responded on r/hiphopheads in response to the news. This guy is a weirdo. A close friend's little sister from the LE ran away last year, and this is who she was with. We think her sister was pimping her out. She was in the 7th grade at the time. LAPD sweeped his place in the hills. I'm terrified that's who's in the car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release names as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Elsinore. At the time, everyone thought this was just some random Reddit user who was tweaking. And now with the latest news, it seems very real. I mean, the girl was reported missing about 70 miles away from where the car was found. So the fact that this random guy was able to piece those dots together, it just doesn't seem like it was some made up story. On top of all of this, a song leaked that I can't confirm if it's real, but it's called Celeste. Apparently, David wrote it in 2023, and the lyrics are kind of crazy.
Suicide, no copyright. The guy with my name tattooed on his chest. Smile. Close like cigarette.
Could be AI or something, I couldn't tell you, but a lot of people believe that it is in fact real. There was also this weird tweet from 2022 where he said, "When I was writing this, I got a notification from you. As you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again, take me where I belong. But our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. we gotta push through it, bro. This was from an old thread where he was talking about Romantic Homicide, his breakout hit. Another crazy coincidence was that the music video for Romantic Homicide was released on the victim's birthday. Fans also pointed out that the lady in the video resembled the victim. On top of that, the lyrics just look a little weird now. Everyone has been looking at his old lyrics under a new lens, and a lot of them don't look great. Like this one where he says, "He might have you, but I've got your ghost." Everything just looks so weird now with this news. Like he apparently brings a casket and stuff to his shows. And his TikTok reposts just look terrible. Like there's this one that reads, "Imagine we were two cannibals in the late 80s who randomly met, and then we fell in love and tried to be better and start a life together. Then you died and I ate your bones." Like, why would you ever repost that?
Weirdo!
Or this one that says, "Me watching her scream after I poured boiling water on her after she told a boy happy birthday because why you happy, he made it another year." Just weird stuff. That's super weird to repost, especially
Weird
under
as
this
fuck.
context. The latest thing that
Don't mind
happened
me
was
eating
the
apple,
alleged
y'all.
brother of the victim, who was followed by David, was found. People started DMing him and asking him questions, which I think is a bit too far. Like, this guy's definitely grieving right now that his sister's body was just found, and now the whole internet's put him on blast. But regardless, he claimed that they went to the police and it was waived off due to a lack of evidence. Again, I can't confirm if this is actually the brother, but that's what most people believe. There's other stuff too, like some alleged text between the victim and a friend talking about David, or people talking about another guy who was in the picture that David also knew, but that's not super important. This is the main information that everyone's focused on. Like I said though, this is all speculative stuff and theories that come from fans, although if I'm being honest, a lot of it looks pretty legit. Most of the public believes that he is guilty of being a pedophile and a murderer. And honestly, I'm not sure how David and his team could spin it in a way that make him seem not that way. However, some people do believe his innocence. Streamer and collaborator of David, Jason the Ween, who just made a song with him, was asked about whether or not he thought David did it. And on stream, he said he didn't think so.
Situation?
With David?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
He's not a murderer?
No.
Thank God, bro, because I was still gonna listen to his music. I was just worried that I'd be an asshole if I did.
No, listen, he didn't do it. He literally performed the next day. If he was a suspect, the police would have been after him. He's not a suspect.
He's not just escaping the police clutches?
No. And I'm gonna perform. We're gonna perform on the 20th, me and David.
Tesla.
I don't think it's him because he's been on tour.
No,
but also,
I don't think it's him either.
Tesla.
I think it's like almost obviously not him.
Quick little update, Jason, among a bunch of other people, celebrities and influencers and friends of David, have all unfollowed him, so his case is clearly getting much worse. But as of right now, with everything that's come out, people in general are assuming he's guilty. Like this person who said, "TikTok, you will crumble for running to defend this not only a killer, but a pedophile." Or this person who said, "He's 20 and she was 15. He's a pedophile and a murderer. Yeah, no, he needs to be locked up now." This person even said, "I'm usually an innocent until proven guilty type of person, but with the amount of evidence against David, you're just delusional if you think he's innocent." I don't know about the delusional part, that's kind of harsh. And I don't want to jump to the conclusions in this video or make some false accusations, but I have to say the allegations look very bad for him. Even if he wasn't involved in her passing, it does seem like they dated or were very close based on everything we know, which at the very least, allegedly, would make David a pedophile. I don't know though, this whole situation just leaves me with a ton of questions. Like, if the mom of the victim knew that she was dating someone named David, did she not know his age? And I'm not blaming her specifically, but it seems like the people around her knew a bit about it, like the guy from the Reddit post who apparently knew that she ran off with David. And I guess other people knew too, at least that's how he made it sound. However, on the flip side, the brother claimed that David, and I guess other people knew too, at least that's how he made it sound. However, on the flip side, the brother claimed that the police didn't do anything. So is that really the case? Did the police not do anything at all? I don't know. I just can't imagine there's a way in which David and his team can spin this without any sort of admission of guilt, at least acknowledging that he knew her or had a relationship with her, which is wrong. The only possible explanation that could make him innocent is the fact that maybe it was a setup, but even then it just seems so elaborate. I can't imagine that was the case. Maybe they were friends, but I doubt that was the case based on all the pictures that we've seen. At the end of the day, this is a super tragic story, and I just want to say rest in peace to the victim. I couldn't find anything, but if anyone knows of any resources available to help the victim's family that isn't scammy, please let me know and I'll make sure to pin it in the comments below. Other than that though, if there's any other major updates, I'll make sure to update you guys, so feel free to stick around and subscribe if you want to get more news. But yeah, it's been your boy Matty Balls, and I'll see you guys.
Magicians who committed terrible crimes. Oh, I gotta watch y'all too. Alright, YouTube, that's the end of the video, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I'm eating a good ass apple right now. Hopefully y'all guys eating one too. Freak ass nigga. Dildo eating that nigga. But it's your boy She Loves B-Law, man, and we are out. Ew, in the back of my mind, you die. Oh, bitch, yeah.